Welcome to Philo. That is my child that is running in circles around. This is the 35th show. We have a special guest artist today, which is Stephen Notley from Bob the Angry Flower. Hi, Stephen. Stephen's joining us from out from the LA area in California. And then my co-host, Robin Fisher. Robin's joining us from the great wilds of Canada. I want to say it's not Ottawa, is it? Is it Ottawa?
No, God, no, not even close.
No,
it is in Ontario. We're both
Ontario.
But I'm actually, you know what? I'm like 20 minutes away from Niagara Falls. That's what the closest thing I am to. Closer than Toronto.
Hi, Kay. Okay. I am going to turn off my talking. I'm sorry. I had that on when I was drawing earlier this week and I forgot. And so that's why I don't know if you guys were able to hear that or not of her saying hi. But yes. Okay. So that was Kay saying hi. See you, Robin. And then let me put up Art. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Sorry.
We're going to do a visual recap, you said.
Yes. Let me do a visual recap. So where I am is page setup. There we go. I wasn't able to finish a full page yet. So for the news story, so that I'm just going to show you where I'm at with the page. Hi, Skeleton King. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Okay, and so where we started off is a spaceship crashes, and Philo emerges from the spaceship, and then he eats some mushrooms, and they communicate with him to not eat them. And then we are topping off the same huge pizza, is what the mushrooms tell him, is that we're all toppings on the same huge pizza. Philo tries to ask for help, basically saying he needs to get his rocket working. So they take...
Can I just stop you for just a second? Is there any chance you could like zoom in on each
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. Yeah, let me do that. So, okay. Spaceship crashes. Philo emerges. And then Philo eats some mushrooms, and they communicate with him to not eat them. We are toppings on the same huge pizza, they say, as they're like all turning into mushrooms. And then so Philo tries to ask for help, that he basically needs to get his rocket working. Hi, Acid! And then they take them to their god. And so their god is basically this Cthulhu shroom. And that's where we left off, is with Cthulhu shroom. And I basically spent like 10 minutes drawing in mushrooms last show. I got some good news. I've been working on the anatomy mistakes you pointed out, and then I got hired for my uncle's construction thing. Oh, very cool. How are you doing? I'm doing very good, Acid. We're starting on a news story. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Why don't you go first? I'm still like, I don't even remember, what does Philo look like? The last time I did this, it basically started out by just drawing everybody wearing a horse costume.
So I actually
know what the main character looks like.
Yes, I actually have a Cliff Notes thing for you. I just have to like look at it. There we go. I have a Cliff Notes thing for you, and I'm gonna put it in the private chat. But that is all the characters, and I cut out all the story because that was just too much work for me to try and follow. But it'll give you a rundown of what all the characters look like and kind of who they are. Swoonaruna, yes. So, okay, so they are presented to the Cthulhu Shroom god. Did Stephen hurt his hand, or is that a drawing glove?
It's a drawing glove.
Yeah. Let's do this. So, what happens next after they meet up with Cthulhu Shroom? We want Philo to take action in his own story.
Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale. So, I would say what? Like Philo tries to eat the god?
No, because he's already learned not to do that. He doesn't want to piss the god off.
Okay.
Step on him, or turn him into more fungus and absorb him into the earth.
Hi, Magic Marmot.
I think Philo entreats the god for help. Like, that's why they brought him there, right? And explains, hey, I come from a far-off planet, and I just need some help with my ship. It's broken.
Okay, Philo explains the situation to Cthulhu Shroom.
Now, somebody, and I want to say maybe it was Kay, was mentioning maybe we should get the Kaiju Council involved again. Because Cthulhu Shroom is a kaiju, maybe? Now, we have like 5 people in the audience today. Maybe they could come up with an idea, maybe.
Yeah, maybe for the next panel. I don't mind getting people started off. That's not too bad. And then, yep, that's moi, says Kay. And then that was me, says Magic Marmot.
My name's there. No.
Yes, some serious god begging, says Dale. So I guess I'm gonna have him like seriously begging.
Why can't you just entreat like a regular person? Like he's just like an envoy, you know, like a knight to the court.
Well, I mean, that was a suggestion from our audience.
Yeah, all right.
You know, so that's why I'm thinking like really good begging going on. And then, Stephen, what do you think would be the response after I'm having him beg? Like, is Cthulhu Shroom going to be a merciful god?
Sure, why not? Have him break, you know, the stereotype of the Cthulhuites.
That, like, you know, he understands Philo's plight, I guess.
Mushrooms are really cyclical. Like they bloom and they die, wither and die, and then they regrow and bloom again. So maybe he's like a total laid back stoner mushroom dude. So he's totally like down with whatever Philo needs.
So what you're saying is that he's the black sheep of the elder gods, Lovecraftian god family.
Yeah, because like Dale's really into this begging, unicycle riding, juggling, bowing, kowtowing, and so that'd be really funny if Philo did all that, and the mushroom god was like, "Yeah, cool, no problem."
Okay, all right, fine. I will take all of that advice and I will draw that.
Oh, Magic Marmot's got a good idea too.
Okay, mushrooms grow in poop. The mushroom god requires an offering. No, that's Dale. Cthulhu Shroom lifts Philo up with a tentacle and holds him eye to eye. Ooh, I think that's your panel.
Yeah, okay. See, that's what I was saying. Magic Marmot has a good idea.
Yes, that's your panel. I love it. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have him. We're gonna have him like begging.
Okay.
What is it? Cthulhu Shroom lifts Philo up and holds him eye to eye.
And holds him eye to eye, and that's your caption. So how is life in Los Angeles right now?
Hang on, let me just get the rest of this down here.
Oh, no worries. I don't want to. Okay, I shall ask Robin. How is life in Canada? How is life in
Oh, I don't know. At the old folks home I work at, they all have COVID. Well, they did 5 days ago. I think they're over it now. I don't know how that works, but they get tested constantly, so I'm assuming they're almost over it. But it's weird because it's just so casual now. After 5 days, everything's fine. I'm like, but is it really?
Yeah.
But it really sucks for them because they get trapped in their rooms. They're not allowed to leave, and we deliver the food to them. But like, it's like a jail. You can't leave. That's no fun.
Let's see. Steven, did you see ZBrush is out for the iPad? Asked Dale.
I mean, I think I saw probably Dale post that on Facebook. I guess I'm not really familiar with ZBrush. It's like a 3D modeling tool. So
yeah,
cool. I mean, I guess that's cool for the people who use it. I'm not really familiar with it, but good, I guess.
Oh, right. I didn't know if you were like a ZBrush person or something. I'm just reading what the audience posts. So
yeah, no, but that's my answer to Dale is like, congratulations, I guess. I mean, good for you or whoever uses it, but not my thing.
Yeah, Kay got her booster yesterday, which is excellent. Good job, Kay. And Dale wants everyone to know that old folk homes are dens of sex and wrinkly orgies every day.
Yes.
Mine is run by nuns, so I'm sure there's some boning going on, but not that much. What I really like about where I work is there's a lady there who's 100 years old, and she's so cool. I really like her. There's this old Polish lady. She got sick the other day, and I was worried about her. And they're like, no. During World War II, they sent her to Siberia to chop wood. She'll be fine. I was like, what? Okay.
Let's see. That's right. There was COVID at my dad's nursing home. The poor dude who got it on dad's floor was stuck in his room for a week.
Yep. 5 to 7 days.
Yeah. And so, let's see. So,
yeah, I've heard of like the old folks' homes being like everyone's got like chlamydia and stuff like that, but not at our place. They're kind of there's not a lot of men there, and most of the men, like at least 2 of them, have dementia, so they're not really thinking normally. I don't know.
So
I like it there though.
What is Philo explaining to Cthulhu Shroom?
Well, isn't he just asking for like help to fix the ship?
Well, it says that he explains the situation to Cthulhu Shroom. So yeah, so I guess like there's I guess I'll put band-aids or something.
Or maybe Cthulhu Shroom's just like, why should I help you? Like, I need a reason. Give me some money. Let's do a trade. Let's become friends. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these reasons why but I don't think he would just like give it up. I think he'd be like, why would I help you?
And also, Philo's in a spacesuit, if that helps, because you're drawing him kind of naked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you could just give him some lines around his like knees and stuff.
So Stephen, Dale says you should get the Nomad Sculpt 3D for your iPad. It's relatively cheap, like a baby ZBrush. Great for mocking out backgrounds for panels. Trust me. Would I lie to Stephen?
Do you do that, Dale, for your comics? That's my question. That's my question, Dale.
I don't get that question.
My question to that is because Dale is basically telling Steve to do something with his own art that Dale does not do with his own art.
I gotta say, Dale, bless you, Dale. You're very, very
passionate about stationery
on your tech solutions for folks, and appreciate the suggestions. But I'm just not gonna commit to saying yes. Absolutely, I will. Totally turn on a dime and throw, just doing and learn a brand new tool for a bunch of things I may or may not ever use.
Yeah, so. that's kind of my point, Yeah, Dale says my ass is stuck on the planet and I want to go home. He needs to cry and pleads should shoot out of his eye. Oh, and Pluge should shoot out of his eyes. And then Dale says, no, I'm a lazy scut. Shut up, Amber. And then Meep Beep says, sorry, I'm late. Hi, Meep Beep. How you doing?
Hi, Meep Beep.
How's your
and
cosplay
Kay also mentioned that in the old folks home where her dad is, there's a couple of patients that are lovers. It's very sweet.
I imagine that happens because, there's a lot of widows and widowers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I imagine that, you find companionship with others your own age who have similar life experience.
That's true. Just not at the one I'm at. They're all pretty,
Is there any, I've got the Cthulhu mushroom here. I mean, I didn't get a really good chance to see what he looked like, so...
did you get...
Just add a couple of mushrooms and you're fine.
Yeah, you could just add mushrooms all over him, and then it will read that he's the giant Cthulhu shroom.
The way that Amber drew him was... Well, the way that Amber drew him was completely different from the way that Dale drew him, so, you totally can interpret that any way you like. I would just add some mushrooms as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Cthulhu classic Cthulhu.
The visual shorthand is that there's tiny mushrooms all over it.
Right.
Yeah, and so, but the main structure, it is an elder god. I think it's okay if it shifts form from panel to panel.
Yeah,
You know, there's madness
true.
going on there. So,
Yeah.
you know,
it could be interpreted differently by each person who sees it.
Yeah, you know, exactly. So I don't know what the plan is, but I'm having Philo draw himself or explain himself very heroically. If you see this word balloon here. So he's, you know, however he's explaining it, he's going, I'm the hero, you're not the hero. Let's see. People need love in cartoons. And just look at it sometime, Stephen. And then Dale says, or I'm sorry, Magic Marmot says he's an Eldritch amorphous being, and Philo did eat shrooms. And then Shiitake and Portobello mushroom, or shiitake and portobello mushrooms maintain continuity. Ah, yes.
My favorite mushroom that's exotic is the enoki. I like the enoki mushroom. But I also like the other mushrooms, the plain white. The only one that doesn't really do much for me is the portobello.
Yeah, I like mushrooms, but Ian doesn't really like them, so we don't eat them much anymore because, you know, he's not, you know,
he's the cook, so it's his choice.
Yeah, exactly. And so you want to make sure that the cook's happy with what the meal is. And so, yeah. So I'm having Philo do interpreted dance, I guess. That's how he's explaining it. As part of his begging ritual. I've had enoki. I like trumpet mushrooms, says Dale.
Has anyone had that chicken of the woods mushroom?
No, I haven't. It's very expensive at the store.
Oh, I thought you could just go to the woods and find it quite easily.
Well, you know, did you hear about those people in Britain that used the AI mushroom book? And it was full of inaccurate information and they poisoned themselves and died?
Oh, did they die?
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to go foraging in the forest for mushrooms with information I find off the internet or you know, they bought the book off of Amazon. A book, physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, full of AI content, and it killed them. Let's see. Never go to the woods and pick mushrooms if you don't know what you are doing, says Dale. And then portobello are fabulous, grilled with olive oil, garlic, and balsamic glaze. And there's an Asian grocery store here, and the owner has his own mushroom farm, grows a lot of the esoteric mushrooms, says Magic Marmot.
That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I miss mushrooms. I like them in my cooking. You know, what I like them with is steak.
Yeah, the Germans do that too. When they have a schnitzel, they'll do like a mushroom gravy that's really yummy.
Yeah, my favorite German dish has to be smoked salmon. It's just, it's fantastic the way that it's done when it's German done. There's a like a little Christmas village that shows up every December here in Denver. That is, it's like the German community of Denver, like coming to like celebrate their heritage. And, you know, there's other countries to that area, like Scandinavia and stuff like that, but they have food. And there's this guy that has smoked salmon every year. He smokes it for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must fall off the bone.
Yeah, it is. There is no bone. You know, he's filleted it already before he smokes it. But yeah, it melts in your mouth. It's amazing. Like Ian had one bite of my salmon and he still talks about it. Yeah. He ended up getting latkes and
yep, those are good.
Yeah, and so, you know, those were really good too. So it's not like he didn't have you know, good latkes or anything, but he was like, oh, I should have gotten the salmon. Let's see. Oh, Philo, says Aston Martin. And then there's a great ice cream shop in Fort Bragg that has mushroom ice cream. Ooh, there you go.
I don't know.
Candy cap mushrooms that give it a unami flavor, super good. Yeah, unami and umami. Is that what you mean? Umami, unami. Is it unami and umami? I should know. I should know. I'm dumb. I could look it up, but I gotta draw. Yeah, if I sit and talk the whole time, I don't draw. Yeah. So, yeah, trying new sound tonight. This is just called alt rock. And so, if you guys don't like it, let me know. But yeah, umami. Loki umami says Magic Marmot.
Like, oh, mommy.
Yeah. Ooh, umami! I did have it right. Oh, good. Good. I should know. And I did know. Yay. I give myself little mental points. Now I gotta take time and draw in like a bunch of mushrooms.
Tiny little head. Mushroom head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, are you familiar with oh gosh, Jane the Addiction, the band Jane the Addiction?
No, but I am familiar with Jane's Addiction.
Or Jane's Addiction, I'm sorry. Yeah, my brain totally spazzed. Again, like I'm not cool enough to know bands like that. Anyway, the lead singer almost got in a fist fight with the lead guitarist this evening.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, and so they have clips of it on the internet, and like
wow.
he had to have people like pull him off.
Oh, yeah, I did read that. I don't know what happened. I think Navarro accidentally hit him over on the shoulder or something. But
no, Navarro was playing guitar, and
yeah.
And in the clips, he was swinging around and he hit Navarro, and then he's like, "Get the fuck out of my way."
Oh, okay.
So, but he was the one swinging around. Yeah, again, I've seen the clips from multiple angles, so because I just thought it was like interesting. I'm not that familiar with their music, but Navarro used to host Ink Master, and so I'm familiar from him, with him from that. Jane's Addiction about to become Jane's Rehabilitation, says Aston Martin.
They were a pretty big deal when I was in high school because they had a very individual sound, like nobody sounded like them at all. And you've got to give credit where credit is due. Perry Farrell is actually the one that created Lollapalooza.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to do this and go copy, paste. And we're just going to mushroom all over the place because I have this at my disposal, so I'm just going to do it.
And then actually they broke up, and then Perry Farrell went on to become part of a band called Porno for Pyros. And their first album was really good too. I remember playing that a lot in high school.
Yeah, I don't know, like I listened to a lot of 60s music when I was in high school. Like I listened to Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and stuff, and like my mom's music I listened to. Are you done with your panel? Or are you still working on it?
Pretty close.
Yeah, I'm adding mushrooms, so you can take some time with it.
I think it looks great.
Let's see. Merge.
Can I see yours, Amber? It's so tiny.
Oh yeah, it's coming along.
Well, that's a lot of mushrooms.
Well, I gotta add a layer in between that has white, and yeah, the white's gonna be like taking out the background.
Well, I was a teenager during the grunge era, so that's what I listened to a lot of. But I was also really like obsessed with supporting Canadian music, so I was listening to like a lot of underground indie Canadian that mostly only Canadians know.
Yeah.
But one of them was Tragically Hip. I was listening to them when I was like 15, and it was like their third album. And then after by their fourth album, I stopped listening to them, and that's when they got really big. Was with that fifth album, but I just got over it. But yeah, there was that Road Apples album. I killed it. It was really good.
Gosh, I think I was more along the lines of like, I listened to like Sheryl Crow in the 90s when I was in high school.
Acoustic ladies like Lisa Loeb and what's her name? Joan Armstrong? No. You sing that song, What If God Was One of Us?
Oh, not Joan Mitchell.
No.
Yeah.
Just your mom's era is Joni Mitchell.
Yeah, like I said, not that. I knew that. I knew it's not that.
And she's Canadian, by the way.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm drawing so many freaking mushrooms. I don't even know why I'm doing this.
Are you on mushrooms? No, it's not Tori Amos that sang that song. It's like, it's not Joan Armatrading either, because she's from the 70s. Oh, what's her name? It's not Armstrong. Let me look it up. I hate that song too. What if God was one of us?
I actually like that song.
Blob like one of us.
It was overplayed in the 90s, but I actually like the song. But that's, that's okay. I don't listen to it all the time. It's not like I owned it. Tori Amos, says Kay. And
Joan Osborne. And it's not Tori Amos. I told you it's not Tori Amos. And it's not Joan Armatrading, because that woman's from the 70s. It's Joan Osborne. Just Googled it. Yay, okay. Google. Thank you, Google.
Yes, Google knows all, which is kind of frightening.
Martin listened to Coldplay a lot because that was his best friend crush that listened to it a lot.
Are you ready for the next panel, Steven?
Yep.
Okay, me too. So let me put you up so I can see what I'm working off of. So Cthulhu lifts Philo up eye to eye. So what happens after he lifts him up eye to eye? Maybe.
Well, so is the Cthulhu god angry? How does the Cthulhu god feel about this? Because in Steven's panel, he looks pretty intense and angry-ish.
I don't know. Is he still smoking his pipe? He tries to eat Philo, says Magic Marmot. And okay, so I will have.
Yeah, I thought we were stopping having stuff happen to him.
Well, I don't know. Philo has to escape. That's going to be him. Like, he was trying to do stuff. I don't know. I was thinking maybe, like, if he's staring into the eye of the beholder, or he's staring into the eye of the abyss, like, does he get hypnotized, or does he, like, crawl into the eye? Like we could.
Well, he's still high on mushrooms. He did eat the mushrooms, so why not have him crawl into the eye?
Okay, so we'll have him crawl into the eye. And then, so that's the panel that I will draw. And I guess, Steven, you're going to be drawing the world within the eye.
It could be anything. You don't have to draw mushrooms anymore.
Yeah, so Philo crawls into the eye. Okay. I imagine, like, now is this into the head of the creature, or is it like a world that we're talking about?
Well, one of our friends, Magic Marmot, suggested eating Philo brings him to another realm. So if he goes into his eye, wouldn't that be the same thing? He'd be going into another realm?
Yeah. Let's see. The gods should laugh. Life for a god is boring, says Dale. And then, but it's just a joke. And then, I still like Coldplay. It's pretty good, says Aston Martin. It's okay. Coldplay's not my band, but you can like it. I'm glad you enjoy them. Let's see. Or eating Philo brings him to another realm. If you stare into the abyss stares into you. Ooh, psychedelic patterns. And then Steven's channel your inner Dave Sheridan and Gilbert Shelton. And then he swims into the eye like a puddle, says Aston Martin. I kind of like that. It kind of swims into the eye a little bit. So yeah, so I'm going to draw like this huge eye. And I'll buy Steven some time.
Do you know we're still having crazy summer weather right now? Like tomorrow's supposed to be 27 degrees.
Yeah. I want to say that's in the 70s. I usually do the translation. You can do it this time.
All right. Make me do some work. That's fair.
Well, I gotta draw.
No, that's why I said that's fair.
Yeah. So
I
I'm gonna
Googled
give him like
Joan Armstrong. 27 degrees is what in Fahrenheit? 80 degrees.
80 degrees. That's not bad. That's nice.
So
It's
what
not.
do you want?
27's hot.
So I
22 is nice.
I'm going to be drawing Philo crawling into the eye, and you are drawing the world within the eye. And your caption, I would say, is the world within the eye. So yeah, it's wild. It's wild tonight. Why not? See.
Trying to stay awake. Don't mind me as I play with my eyeballs.
See, and then I'm thinking, I don't know,
You should have the Eye of the Cthulhu God or whatever he is, Cthulhu Shroom.
Well, I thought I was drawing that,
Yeah, I know. No, I know, but it's just the words. You should have him. He crawls into the Eye of the Cthulhu Shroom because he could be crawling into the eye of his dog for all we know.
Well,
you know
yeah.
What I mean?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think we should just assume that they know everything.
Well, it says that he brings him up eye to eye in the previous panel. So that's why I was saying he crawls.
Well, then crawls into his eye. You know what I mean? Just to like it. I don't know.
Crawls into his eye.
Yeah, the eye could be anybody. It's pedantic, but I'm just trying to make it more cohesive.
Let's see, and then freaking metric system, says Dale, and then oh, don't mind that guy, okay? I'm gonna kill that guy right now. And deleted.
Cthulhu True to Electric Cthulhu Boogaloo. Say that 20 times fast. Pretty funny, Aston Martin.
So we're gonna do like his like boot here.
What is that knockout noise? Is that when people talk or?
The knockout noise. Are you talking
like
about
the ding?
That tells me when people chat in Twitch. So then that way I have a verbal cue, so I don't miss anyone's messages.
Smart.
And then I also have one that reads to me comments, but I don't have it turned on during Philo because it's just too many of them. And
a lot of talking.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking, and it wants to read everything, right? And so, like if
you how much you know, Dale. You know nothing about Canada. He says, guys only invented the metric system so when they measure their junk, it sounds louder. 6 inches is like 15.25 centimeters. In Canada, in that regard, we use inches. We are weird. We use inches to measure things like penis. We use feet to do our height instead of centimeters. There's like a lot of things that we still use that you guys use, but in degrees and in distance we use metric.
The actual like origin of the metric system was the French Revolution. Wanted to do everything by tens. Everything. I didn't know that. Yeah, and so the French came up with the metric system. And they also wanted to change it into 10 hours a day, too, for the day. But the day stayed 24 hours. The more you know
those wacky French.
Those wacky French. Yeah. I don't know. The French, they whenever any of their rights are at risk, they riot. And I think that's kind of awesome that they don't let themselves get pushed around by corporations and like their leaders and stuff. They're like, no, you cannot take our extra hour. And then they, like you see them protesting in the streets. Like, oh man, I love you.
I like the blue with the red on your drawing. I know these are just like draft lines or whatever, preliminary.
Yeah.
But I like how it looks, the blue with the red and the black.
Oh, I do that all the time when I'm drawing digitally, so that I know what one item is with another, because when I was drawing it, if I tried to draw Philo in red, he would have blended too much in with the other lines that I did. And so that's why I did him in blue. So then that way I didn't need to like create another layer, for my sketch.
Smart. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I guess we should have like a couple of mushrooms. Should have like a couple of mushrooms.
Look, Mom, here. A real tear. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, metric time didn't work so well, I guess, as Aston Martin. And then, wow, thanks, Robin. That was a learning moment. And, guys only invented the metric systems when they measured. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Okay, let's do that. And then turn that off. So I kind of...
Oh, color's gone. Color
Well, yeah. Color's expensive to print.
I know.
And so
doesn't mean I can't want it. I'm allowed to want it.
If Philo's like a huge hit, I can do a color special. But until then, oh no, don't do that. Okay.
You know what I have here? I have one of my friend Bernie's comics.
To get her?
Yeah, and if you string those words together, what does it say?
Together.
Yeah, isn't it sweet? I don't know. I thought that was cool. Anyways, he did this comic series called The Jam that was just about this dude. He liked to put on these green pajamas and walk his dog at like 3 a.m. in Montreal and like try to fight crime if crime was happening. But he was just like casual dude. And this is also the continuation of the story. But
yeah, you were talking about that on a previous show.
Yeah, and he but it's also like about his relationship with his his new ex-wife.
I say that's pretty. Oh, Steven, we lost your screen.
Okay. Hang on.
There's Billy. There's Jesse. Hey, look, my ex-boyfriend is in this comic, and I didn't even realize it.
Ah.
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend do that.
Did you break up with him, or did he break up with you?
I broke up with him. But he was in love with someone else, and as soon as we broke up, they got together, and I think they're married now, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't meant to be anyways.
Well, I mean, shit like that happens.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aston Martin, is there a black and white crayon and paint? They are colors, damn it. Oh, if they're black and white crayons and paint, they are colors, damn it. Black and whites are values, and black and whites are colors.
Well, it's funny you say that, because like if you look at some of Bernie's a colorist, and his color work is amazing, but you're like you said, it's expensive and hard to afford. So, like, look at this panel here where he's got a whole bunch of different grays to accentuate and make it look almost like the color.
So, okay, so I'm looking at the world within the eye, and there's mushrooms and a car, and like an imaginary 2's root. And a bunch of other things like an 8-ball and a cube or something. Like what is going on here? What happens after that? if they're black, I'm like, okay, we already read that one. What happens, guys? Come on, we're in the world with it within the eye. We want Philo to kind of take control of his own action. Is this a way for him to get home? He crawls in, he swims into the eye, and then he's in this world. What happens? Like, is he hallucinating? Is he in control of it? Are there tribbles there? I don't know. Okay, so I'm thinking the Twilight Zone, says Magic Marmot. So if it's like a Twilight Philo zone, like, what would that be? Like he enters a world of a bunch of Philos or something? The eye is full of jelly and he gets hungry, says Kay. Let's see.
That's a little dark. He starts eating the eyeball. I don't think the Cthulhu of God would like that very much.
Dale says Philo finds the parts he needs for the spaceship. Everything the god has seen is in the eye. Ooh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that is cool. Like, the eye can conjure up whatever you beam into it, or the Cthulhu god can imagine. That's cool. I like that.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to take as the caption, is everything the god has seen is in the eye. Right? So it's like we can put a Philo on a journey then for the parts for a spaceship. Okay, so everything the god has seen is within the eye. The god has seen some good stuff and some bad stuff, says Dale. So he grabs an English muffin, says Kay. Philo finds the parts he needs. Okay, we read that one. So, gosh, what has this god seen? Like, I imagine he would have seen. Oh! I know what. Oh, I'm having too much fun. He would have seen the Beatles. So, I'm pulling up a picture of the Beatles.
Okay.
Well, I just think it's funny.
He's seen Armand!
Yeah, he's seen Armand.
Magic Marmot. Good call, Magic Marmot.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. So I can draw Armand. Yeah, the I reworked the Cliff Notes page for my artists and stuff, so it's not the story like every beat of the story anymore. It's just the characters now. So then that way I can do kind of Cliff Notes on every character rather than, kill myself trying to remember the continuity for everything. And I'm just going to accept that we're going to have continuity issues. Yeah. Too much fun is good. And then he sees my cat Huey, says Dale. And then Armand can help Philo fix his ship, says Kay. Let's see, we'll do that. And then I am still gonna draw the Beatles though. Why, are you not a Beatles fan?
Me?
Oh, I was talking to
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we lost your screen again, Steven.
Dang it.
Yeah, I think when your laptop screen goes black, it shuts off too.
Which is weird because it hasn't gone black. I'm just drawn, but hang on.
No, it just likes being difficult.
Yeah. Wouldn't be a computer if it didn't want to.
Yeah, of course, like right when we're on air, that's when it needs to do this stuff because it's a computer. Yes. Let's see. Philo gets tentacles and he waves. Says Kay. So I think that everything should be covered in mushrooms, though. In the world, I don't know. Should it? Then that's a lot of mushrooms to drop. As a director, I'm like, yeah, mushrooms. As an artist, I'm going mushrooms.
Maybe it could be like You know how you have the brick? Maybe there's like something like that where you can just kind of paste a bunch of mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to build a stamp for that, and I haven't. It takes time to build a stamp.
Okay.
If I can find a stamp of mushrooms, then I can do that one. Yes, everything should have at least one mushroom, and then they need the tentacles to fix the ship properly. An inside out mushroom. Let's see, and then trying to think what else should be floating here. It's like a ladder, a door. If we're doing like a Philo zone. And then, yeah, like planets. It is all mushrooms. Do that. Okay. Let me put your screen back up. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, weird. I put your screen up and then it just closed it again.
Holy glitchy.
Did I lose it again? Man,
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, let's try her again. Come on. Do the thing. There we go.
Come on. I trust you. I believe in you, computer. You can do it. I'm trying to encourage it. You know, it's like a good cop, bad cop situation.
Should be there.
Yep, there it is.
I don't know how long it'll be before it decides to disappear again, but
damn it, now I want schnitzel, says Dale. And is Steven screen sharing from his iPad into Zoom? No, he's using something called Reflector, I want to say.
Yep. So
yeah.
Reflector is the app that allows my laptop to sort of mirror my iPad through the mutual Wi-Fi connection in the apartment. That's all I really know about it.
Yeah, and he sent me an email of how he did it that I could easily forward to you if you want more information about how he did it. But it took us a little bit of research to figure that out before we finally figured it out. But I helped, kind of. He's the one who figured it out. But I was just like, I don't know. This is what I found in my research. You know, hopefully it'll help. Nope, don't bother, says Dale. I guess, yeah, that's right. He hates all things Apple after being an Apple Kool-Aid drinker for many, many years. Yeah, so, and then Robin's having a tough day.
Yeah, Robin's sleepy.
Yeah, well, Robin had a tough day. You know?
My friend Bernie, his celebration of life was today in Montreal, and I can't make it.
You weren't able to make it?
Well, no, it's in Montreal. It's like in another province. I can't go.
Oh.
I just found out about it like yesterday.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have enough time to plan. But you can still, send flowers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Apple. Hate, says Dale. And then this show has almost as much tech support as Chuck's show, says Dale. And then, cool, I need to do that, but my laptop would probably still won't have enough oomph to run this. Yeah, poor Kay, we figured out the problem with...
oh, wow.
The reason why her Wacom was going all crazy when she was drawing and stuff is this processing issue. She can't run Photoshop and Restream and the Wacom all at the same time off of her old Mac. That I want to say is like from 2008 or something.
Wow, that is old. Yeah. That's almost 20 years.
Yeah, so Yeah, cool. I need to do that, but my laptop would probably still won't have enough Oh yeah. Have you tried turning it off and on again, says Aston Martin. And then 7-year-old Mac says K, yeah. Yeah, 7-year-old Mac. Okay, so it's not gonna be obviously the Beatles, it's just gonna be like one Beatle. I don't feel like drawing the rest of the Beatles. Let's see.
Do any of you folks ever gone to the Small Press Expo in Bethesda?
No, I've always wanted to though. That's like on my bucket list at this point because now I'm on the right side of the country for it.
Isn't it like one of the largest ones in the world?
Well, for independent comics, I would say yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's they have their awards called the Ignazes. I was nominated for one like a million years ago. It's going on right now, so that's why I mentioned it. Is that like I've got a bunch of cartooning buddies who are down there or over there, whatever preposition you want to use to describe the difference in spatial relation between Los Angeles and Bethesda. But
yeah, I know, because your mental state is down, but now it's over. So it's down over there. Let's see. I guess I can draw like.
Oh, I bet Keith Knight's there. Keith Knight was at TCAF that I went to in February.
I think actually Keith is passing this year on SPX. It's one of the reasons I didn't go is that there just sort of wasn't the kind of critical mass of other folks going this year. I mean, like my friend Lonnie is there, and so I feel bad kind of leaving him a bit stranded, but you know, it's also like a couple grand to get across the city, get across the nation or the country, and to get the hotel for a couple of days and all the rest of that. So
it's no longer cheap. Dale wants to know if you mean Lonnie Millsap.
What?
Dale wants to know if you mean Lonnie Millsap.
Lonnie Millsap, yes.
Yep.
New Yorker cartoonist. Hang on a second. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Steven.
I believe this is his latest book.
Hey, I gotta step aside for a minute too. I gotta go grab something. I'll be right back.
Oh, wait. Let me put you in the big screen.
For me? Oh, cool.
Oh,
what's that?
That's Lonnie's latest book.
Nice.
So, my honor for you.
It's cute.
Nice. Plug for Lonnie Millsap.
Very cute.
All right, are you ready for the next panel?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm just
putting in little Kirby dots.
Alls I've done. Oh yeah, definitely add Kirby Crackle. Yeah, definitely. But I'm just basically doing like a wacky background here, but everything they've seen is in the eye. So is he going to go on a journey with the eye? Armand's there. Is Armand going to guide him through the world of the eye?
Are you asking me?
Oh, I mean, Robin stepped away, and I'm also asking chat too. Lonnie Mislap, and then you don't want to know what my plane ticket. Millsap. I'm sorry. And then you don't want to know what my plane tickets to Columbus, Ohio cost, says Dale. $350, says Aston Martin, and I've met Lonnie. I think he is in California, says Dale.
Yeah, he also lives here in LA.
Yeah, there's a lot of cartoonists there. Steve Trouplew's there. I know that J. Scott Campbell moved back to Colorado, but he used to live in La Jolla. And then I want to say that, gosh, I think Jim Lee's still out in that area.
That could well be. I don't know.
Yeah, superhero books and stuff, that was kind of my bread and butter growing up for my comics. I didn't really get into independent comics until I was in college, and I was introduced to a lot of them for the first time. The comic shops and stuff that I had growing up were mostly superhero comics. Sergio Aragonis is in Ojai. I think Scott Shaw is in San Diego. Scott Shaw is in San Diego. He constantly posts to his Scott Shaw ! Page stuff from San Diego because he's just so proud of like living there and stuff. And then have you ever met Jim Lee? You talk about him a lot. I used to work for the man. When I was about 14, I was an intern at Homage Studios. And it wasn't very glamorous. I took out a lot of trash and, microwave burritos for people and stuff. But I got to meet Jim Lee, and he was a huge influence on my early drawing life. And, he was very generous. He was very nice with his time and with just who he was as a person. He didn't like everything that you see in interviews and stuff, like that's really him. He's not pretending to be anybody else, and he's a very down to earth person. And so I still have a lot of respect for him. And then Armand and Lennon's ghosts form a mind meld and jack up the spaceship. Have you ever, oh yeah. And then Stephen, have you visited Stuart NG's bookstore in SoCal yet? And well, I'm glad he was a good person to work under.
Stuart Ing, is that it?
Yes,
I know that a lot of my former colleagues at PopCap would talk very lovingly about him and would talk about how they would make that sort of pilgrimage. I have not done it myself. I'm not quite as how would I put this? Like, I don't like collect art books as a rule.
Yeah.
I'll get books that have I'll get comics that have comic narratives in them, but I'm less interested in just getting like an album of someone's art. Not to just disparage anybody whose jam that is, but it's just not really. It's less mine. So.
I lost your screen again. I know you hate hearing that.
But all right, let's do it again.
Okay, so everything that God has seen is in his eye. Are you working on that panel after, or are you still on the one before this one?
I've just finished it. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to connect again.
Okay. Yeah, Dale says, trust me and go. I personally love artist editions, but I can never afford them.
Well, I got I think I got as a gift from some of my former colleagues, a couple of those sort of artist editions for, I think it was a Kirby book, Kamandu, like the boy on Mars or something like that, or which I was sort of like, oh, well, that's cool. And, it was a thoughtful gift insofar as, I appreciate that they thought of it, but at the same time, it's like, in practice, it's just an enormously heavy, unwieldy comic book.
Yeah.
So even just sort of sitting down to read it is this kind of production where, you kind of have to, place it on a table and flippy, there's one of these, I feel kind of dumb for getting it, but it just kept, this
wow.
This mega Galactus collection.
Oh, wow.
And it's probably, I think it's 2.5 feet tall or 2 feet tall or something.
That thing's got to weigh 10 pounds.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So this is 21 inches tall, and in theory, it's a great sort of collector's object, but in practice, it's an anchor.
Yeah. Aston Martin says, I found the noir hardcover version of The Killing Joke the other day for $5 at a flea market. That's as close to an artist edition as I own. And then, oh, wow. And then huge Spider Killer books. The Sergio Aragonés artist edition grew is as big as a tombstone. Totally worth it. The only artist edition book that I do own is normal book sized. It's not like a big one. But it's different pages from Tales from the Crypt and other EC comics and stuff, like the one where the Jew hunts the guy down to the subway, and then he falls on the tracks, and they're like, oh no, the guy just fell on the tracks for no reason, But he used to be one of the Nazi soldiers at a camp. And the Jew recognized him. Like, that story is in there, and a bunch of other ones, like the final one where they fought so hard to get the rating, where it had the black guy take off his helmet and he's like glistening sweat, and they're like, oh no, you can't have him glisten sweat, and he's too sexy. It's the artist. It's like the original scanned pages of all of those. Like, the guy who put this book together went and found those pages from the collectors that bought them, and then rescanned the pages. And so, it's all the little like notes and the red lines, and like you can see where they've cut out a bit and then they pasted, right in the same spot with Bristol, like the new drawing and stuff. I know that it doesn't seem like it's a very big deal, but to an artist, you're like, oh, it gives me permission to fuck up.
Right. Yeah. They're interesting to see. I mean, if you've never seen a real original piece of original comics art, and then which these things basically are, right? It's like an entire comic, except as if you were just holding all the originals. You can kind of go, oh, there's like the blue lines, and as you say, like the little sort of cut and paste, like they'll paste a piece of paper down, like the word bubble, and the words are lettered onto that, and as you say, little bits of like gouache and white paint to cover up mistakes. And
Dale says artist editions are for cartoonists who want to see where their heroes use whiteout.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so everything the god sees is in his eye. The next panel is yours. So what does he see that's within his eye that helps him? Like Armand's there, which is just an octopus. You don't have to worry about drawing him any special way. So the world within the eye, and then my panel is everything the god sees is in the eye. And so we did have Dale a while back say that Armand and London's ghost form a mind meld and jack up the spaceship. Ooh, I'm not a big fan of the music. Oh, Robin's back. Hi, Robin.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to change it to ambient music. We'll try that. We'll see what that is. So
anime music or something.
Well, I didn't like what it just changed to, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. I need more life to it than that, to the music. So, okay, so what happens? Everything the god sees is in the eye. So has the god seen the parts? Do they have to go on a journey? Like help me out here, chat. Let's see. A shop for ship parts, says Magic Marmot. In the eye. Robin, do you know the sales figures for how much whiteout was bought by comic artists over 100 years?
No, I do not. I'm sorry if I gave the impression that I would.
And then Dale says artist editions are the gateway drug for buying original art pages. I have an original Keith Knight. When I would go to a con, Sergio Aragonés' eyes would bulge out in cartoon dollar signs when he saw me coming. And then a warehouse. A warehouse. Okay, so shop parts warehouse. I think that's going to be your panel, Stephen, is that Armand takes Philo to a shop parts warehouse in the Eye Void.
Who's Armand?
Does everybody know that Mike Nesmith's mom invented whiteout? Okay, that's all I had to say. Sorry.
No, but that's cool. Armand is this octopus that's in the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just an octopus. Canadian money.
Okay, hang on.
Monopoly money.
So what's the caption?
So the caption is Armand takes Philo to a spaceship warehouse in the I void.
That's pretty cool. I never really saw how pretty that was, the Parliament buildings there.
This is the new money?
Well, the plastic money, it's not that new. We've had it for a long time. The countries around the world are adopting the same kind of plastic money. In fact, most countries are having plastic money now, too.
Yeah.
I know this because I used to work at the currency exchange this time last year. All I did was play with other countries' money.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. Yep, that was funded a lot of Nesmith's records after the Monkees and before Elephant Parts. And then Mike Nesmith created some of the first music videos. Elephant Parts is my favorite. Strippers love that money as they can wash it easier.
Yeah, it's true. You know what? I don't. It's so funny. I have no. What's the word? I don't judge strippers at all. Like, go for it, do what you want. I have no problem. But when they used to come to currency exchange, I was like, these are my least favorite customers because it was all crumpled up American ones, and I'd have to go through them all, straighten them all out, make them all face the same way, and then count them all. My hands get so dirty. I hated it.
I would have worn gloves. I would have been like, hey, we're doing this if we're counting up these ones. Mr. Krabs money. And then I love Mike Nesmith music video. Rio, says Dale. Stripper love the money as they can wash it easier. Okay, so after Armand takes Philo to the Space-O-Rama Emporium warehouse in there, what happens then? Like, we can't just have...
Does he see something even 10 times better than what he needs and gets that instead? Is he going to have to pay for stuff, or is it just going to be free because it's, like, inside the eye of the Cthulhu shroom? These are all very important questions that I wonder.
Is the dog still with him? Maybe the dog needs to pee.
We need a dog. What happened to the dog? We haven't seen the dog at all.
I don't know. I think we stopped drawing the dog. Susie and Ramona Sunset Sam. What happens? Let's see. It takes Philo to the spaceship warehouse in the I void, and then maybe there's admission to get in to the warehouse. Philo doesn't have $dollars. We're talking about currency exchange. You know, the dog is playing dice with the mushroom people. And
that's cool. I like that idea. The dog's playing dice with the mushroom people.
Okay. And I'll say, meanwhile, the dog is playing dice with mushroom people.
Sounds good. That's a great visual. Isles and Isles of parts, but they want Canadian bills for their parts. Really? Canada? Is that even a country?
Canada is a country, to my knowledge.
It is. I was just quoting How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. I mean, to my knowledge. But didn't you guys, like, have to buy back your freedom like Haiti did?
No, I don't recall that.
No, it was something like I want to say it was in the 20th century. Canada
patriated its constitution, so like, you know, it still had, it's still a democratic, a constitutional monarchy. So technically, the queen is still the head of state, but I think in the 80s, Canada patriated its constitution, which sort of like established the Constitution of Canada as having kind of a separate, independent existence from, the British Crown, I think.
Yeah, you're very accurate. No, that's quite right.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, again, I
work,
wasn't
Steven.
quite accurate, but I knew that they were still linked with Britain. It's not a territory anymore, but yeah, it's
We were never a territory. We were the colony.
Yeah, exactly. Like Canada was and remains a colony of England. Technically, the Queen remains the head of state. So that's sort of the difference between
Actually, that is where you're incorrect, sir. Currently, we have a king.
Or you're right. You're right. It is a king now.
I'm just being a smartass. Sorry, I can't. I'm sorry. But yeah, you're absolutely right in everything. That's very
well,
accurate.
I mean, he is Canadian,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
he would know these things because
Yes.
you guys went to very similar schools that went over your history.
So,
You know, my schools always got stuck at like just before the Great Depression.
Yeah.
It never got past that, and I always wondered how that happened. But now I know as an adult. As a teenager, that befuddled me, and we never got to that point. And it used to drive me crazy because I was like, I want to learn about this moment in history.
But then you get older and you realize, oh, it's because the 20th century is really muddy, and they don't want to teach it because they don't want to get in trouble for teaching it wrong. Yeah, because it's really muddy. You know, it's like, especially if you're American. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into politics. Colony, and then Canadians are just sleeper cell British waiting for the Revolutionary War Part 2, says Aston Martin. And then
Canada version better.
Canada is a breeding camp for actors who they sell to the US. They now get competition from England and Australia. And then Bloodless Coup, says Magic Marmot. Non-mushroom DNA is priceless in the eye realm.
Priceless. Maybe it's priceless.
Priceless. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. We'll do this. I feel bad for Steve, and when I would visit Los Angeles, I didn't see a single Canadian restaurant.
Luckily, Canadian cuisine is not all that fancy.
Poutine is amazing.
Poutine is tasty.
And I will stand on the hill and die for honey garlic sauce. Honey garlic sauce is not down here in the United States the way it is in Canada.
Yeah,
and that stuff is amazing.
Yeah, in the United States, the only flavorings Americans seem to understand is like different kinds of cheese, like whether it's a nacho cheese or something else. Whereas Canada, way more in the. I mean, if you have to really go and dig in the U.S. to find like dill pickle, popcorn shaker spice or
that's depressing.
Like that. Pardon?
That's depressing.
You usually have to go to like the Oriental aisle to get that kind of stuff.
And like the kind of comfort foods in Canada, like pierogies in particular, are very hard to find.
They're just in the frozen food section, but not every single grocery store carries them. It depends on the area.
It's a shame because they are super versatile and fun.
They are. When I was living in China, that was the one thing I couldn't find, and so I took it upon myself to make some for a bunch of my friends. It took me all day. But then my last year there, a Russian restaurant opened up, and they had pierogies. So maybe there's like a Russian restaurant in LA that you could go to that has pierogies. But I know what you mean. You'd rather just buy them at the grocery store.
Because then you can boil them, you can fry them, you can microwave them. You know, you just toss them, just dump a bunch out on the frozen onto the skillet with some chopped up onions and butter and sausage, and like 5 minutes later you got.
Can't forget the bacon.
Pardon?
Bacon. Can't forget the bacon with pierogies.
But that's the thing. You could get the meat quality from like just Polish sausage instead if you want. So there's, as I say, it's all about the versatility.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have the dog with like a big pile of dirty money that he's been collecting from the mushroom people.
What a scammer.
Yeah, so he's got all this money. All right, there we go.
So I learned about a new thing a couple of weeks ago that on Twitter they do this thing in August called Dogist, where everyone does art of dogs.
Yeah,
It's really cool to see the variety of art online.
Twitter's gotten weird. And
I only use it to look at art.
I know. I use it as a billboard for like stuff like for Philo, but it's gotten really weird. And like I've seen ads and stuff on there for stuff that I'm just like, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I get a lot of ads for betting, and I'm just like, I don't even gamble at all. Well, why? But okay.
I don't know, probably because the algorithm says, "Oh, this is someone with money."
Yeah, the algorithm doesn't know what it's talking about.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
no
again,
we had here.
Again, you know, rich people want all the money. They can't imagine poor people having any of it, you know? So if you have any money, they assume that that's their money. You know? But that's just me. Let's see. Okay, dog saving up for a new bone. And then pierogies are more an East Coast thing, although I did find some in Anchorage, Alaska, says Dale. And then Saul Schlick says Magic Marmot. When I was in Anchorage, there was a pierogi shop in open after the bars closed, and drunk kids would line up for boiled pierogies with melted butter and hot sauce. And then Twitter makes living in a dumpster look like a good choice, says Magic Marmot.
When I lived in Montreal, there was a place that would open up at and stay open till 4 a.m. and open at 12, so that it only got all the patrons of the bar when the bars let out. And all they would serve was ramen noodles and peanut sauce for $3, a big box of them. And right after you get out of the bar at 3 a.m., it was this shit.
Yeah. You know, one of my favorite after getting out of the bar things is a grilled cheese sandwich.
With bacon.
Well, you could have it with bacon. I kind of like it with a slice of tomato.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, when you say bacon, are you talking about Canadian bacon?
No, I'm talking about normal bacon.
Okay.
In Canada, we call it pea meal bacon when we have Canadian back bacon. Yeah, nobody actually calls it back bacon not in my world. Because I sell it in my other job, the job I work at, the butcher shop. I sell pea meal bacon a lot every day. Code 208.
Yeah. Let's see, let's do the underside of at least one of these mushrooms so we know it's a mushroom. We'll do this.
Wouldn't it be funny if you went into the mushroom god and there was Smurfs? They lived in mushrooms?
You know, I always thought it was interesting that the Smurfs don't procreate with Smurfette. She was created by Gargamel. What's his name? Gargamel. Thank you. But she was created by him to disrupt the Smurf community.
Disrupt. Right? Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. Classic sexism. But then, at least in the show, which I imagine was an adaptation of the book, Papa Smurf used his magic to turn her into a real Smurf. That's when she became blonde.
Yes, and that's when she became good, because prior to that she was evil. Yes.
Just
how are the Smurfs born? Are they hatched? Because I thought there's baby Smurfs. I have a baby Smurf.
Yeah, but they're not mammals. I want to say they're born out of flowers or something. Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, me too.
Look it up. Let's see. How are Smurfs born?
Yay, Google.
How are Smurfs born? It's not what you think. Since the origin in the late 50s, a comic book series, a worldwide explosion, blah, 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 from beyond the fascinating world. How are Smurfs born? Smurfs are asexual, although there are males and females. The general concept is that every night when there is a blue moon, a stork brings baby Smurfs to the village from somewhere in the forest. But that's not the only way Smurfs come into the world, because Smurfette, the princess of Smurf Village, was created by Gargamel using blue clay to create jealousy amongst the Smurfs who had never seen a woman before. Papa Smurf's magic managed to redirect her to the path of good, and since then the Smurfs see her as a member of the family. But it doesn't go into any more of their breeding. So the stork brings them. That's how Smurfs are born.
During a blue moon.
During a blue moon.
Always
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, during a blue moon, always during a blue moon, they are born. And so I imagine during the blue moon, there's like, just a cartload, like 20 Smurf babies just get like piled on top of them.
No, just one.
Just one?
Just one at a time.
Just one, says Ian. He would know.
Watched.
That was like his period of childhood.
Yeah, I have a very extensive Smurfette collection because when I was a little girl, I used to have a huge Smurfette collection in a Crown Royal velvet bag, and we lived in Germany, and so whenever we would like go to all these different countries for visits or whatever, and we would be stuck at a campground, and I'd have to make friends with strange kids, I'd always just bring out my Smurfettes with the other girls, and then we would like play. We wouldn't need language.
I'm just gonna give these guys like different kinds of mouths. I think that,
These
I think
mushrooms are different.
Well, I imagine that the mushrooms are saying different things, but I want to show that they're alive, at least some of them.
Yeah, are those mushrooms like lower on the intelligent food chain?
I don't know. Like, there's mushrooms of different sizes.
Those look like but there's like Ron Baudet mushrooms with different mouths.
I don't know. I was just drawing mushrooms with different mouths, and there's the dog. And
Mushrooms with eyes.
Yeah, Ian wants
Is the dog taking advantage of the dumb population of mushrooms?
Yeah. See his big pile of money?
Oh, dog.
Yeah, In fact, just to cement it in, I'm gonna give him one of those visors that like casino guys wear.
Yeah, like bookies wear.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give him one of those visors. Like a bookie wears, so that's what he's doing. And then checking in on Steven's panel, we got Space Parts-O-Rama. And so I imagine that the next panel we're probably going to be going back to the Space Parts-O-Rama, but we only have 7 minutes, so that's not really enough time to draw a full panel. So I think we're just going to make these last two look really cool. Let's see. If she is made of clay, they are a golem, says Dale. So Gargamel should just made a Spory Smurf to disrupt the Smurfs. And
Maybe
then our Smurfs golems. Wait, I thought they multiplied like fungi, says Aston Martin. Wasn't Smurfette once a male Smurf? Not many late night places open in San Jose anymore. I missed Mini Gourmet. All the strippers from the Pink Poodle would go there after work, like at 3 a.m. And then Whiteout is the worst name than Twitter. I missed the ads on Facebook telling me that older women are looking for me. I would read the ads in my lucky rocket ship underpants. And then Twitter making a living in a dumpster. Yeah, okay, we were already back there. The dog is introducing the original sin of gambling to the innocent mushroom people. And inside of the warehouse looks like the warehouse at the end of Indiana Jones. Let's see, yeah, and then we lost your screen again, Steven.
Yeah,
That's okay. You know what? I think we went a little long last show. I think it's okay if we end 5 minutes early.
All right, hang on. Let me get it one more time.
Yeah. Because meanwhile, the dog is playing dice with the mushroom people is a good stopping point.
The dog corrupts the mushroom people.
Yeah.
He's corrupting them.
And then
If
what I
this was
need to,
Star Trek, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
well, it's not Star Trek. You know, there's no prime directive here. You know, not as far as I know. I mean, they are mushroom people, but you know, we don't know why Philo was in space. We have no idea why Philo was in space. I love your space.
I wasn't around when you started that stuff. I wasn't here for that. Must have been sleeping.
No, you were 5 minutes late.
Oh, okay.
And so it's something that we just started. So we don't even know why he's in space. Let's see. People will now start building casinos. It doesn't matter, says Magic Marmot. I love it. I love the panel, Stephen. I think we're gonna finish. I think we're gonna finish a little early. Armand takes Philo to the spaceship, space parts void, void warehouse, and then we have. Meanwhile, the dog is playing dice with the mushroom people, and so there's the dog playing dice with mushroom people. I'm gonna turn off our screens here. No cat and cat cam today. And I just want to say thank you to my special guest artist today, Stephen Notley. Check out his comic, which is bobtheangryflower.com. And I had a caption for you. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Ta-da! Bob the Angry Flower, which is an amazing comic. If you've never read it, he does awesome things with panels and I mean, like, as a cartoonist, like, I'm always like in awe of what he does. And it's just, yeah, it's a really funny comic, and I highly enjoy it. So thank you very much, Stephen. I'm going to say goodnight. And then Miss Robin, I am going to say thank you very much for being my co-host and my better half, and you know, having the gift of gab and making things like easier on me. I appreciate it. Good night. And then everybody out there in Chatland, thank you very much for joining us. And we have a really active chat tonight. I really appreciate it. And so I will see you guys next week. We'll see what happens with Philo. Have a great day.